Good evening. You're watching Just the News. I'm Amita Balachandra. Our top story today is the fact that rupee has slipped to an all-time low against the US dollar. It's closed at 79.92 rupees against US dollar, but earlier it had hit 80.05 rupees against the US dollar. Now, the rupee has slipped due to an exodus of foreign investors and concerns over a deteriorating current account deficit amid elevated oil and commodity prices. On Monday, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had said that the value of the rupee has depreciated by around 25% against the dollar since December 2014. Moving on now, in Kerala, police have registered a case after women candidates appearing for the NEET exam were allegedly asked to remove their bras before entering the exam hall in Kerala's Ayur. Now, the police have registered an FIR under Section 354 and 509. The cases were registered after the father of one of the girls who appeared for the medical admission exam, I beg your pardon, on Sunday, filed a complaint. In the complaint, the father quoted security personnel who said, and I quote, "Is your future or innerwear big for you? Just remove it and don't waste our time," end quote. And this is as mentioned in the complaint of the father. Now, officials of the Mar Thoma Institute of Technology have claimed that none of their staff were involved in the frisking process and that it was done by security personnel sent from the National Testing Agency. There are reactions that have come in from the government. Kerala Higher Education Minister has written to Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan is seeking strong action against the agency. Also, the State Human Rights Commission has sought a report. In the meantime, according to a report by TOI, the National Testing Agency has said that the allegation made is fictitious, and this statement is coming from the NTA despite violent protests that are taking place in Kerala. Additionally, not just that one complaint that has come forth, the News Minute has reported that several other girls are also coming forward with their allegations as well. Now, the News Minute has also reported that the official information bulletin issued by the NTA in connection with the NEET UG makes no mention of a ban on bras with metal hooks. The bulletin, however, says that light clothes with long sleeves are not permitted. Candidates are not allowed to carry any metallic item in the examination hall or room, and garments with large buttons are not permitted. Meanwhile, in the Kallakurichi case from Tamil Nadu, there's an update. The Tamil Nadu police have formed a special investigation team to probe the riots on Sunday following the death of a class 12 girl student on the hostel premises of a private school on the 13th of July. Now, this comes after the Madras High Court orders. In fact, the Madras High Court had also said and, in fact, ordered a second post-mortem in this particular case. The girl in a note had alleged torture and harassment by teachers. The girl's family have held the school management responsible for her death and also foul play in her death. Now, this SIT has now been tasked with unearthing the conspiracy behind the incident, identifying those involved in the violence and those who spread false news which triggered the rioting. Moving on now, Haryana Deputy Superintendent of Police DSP Surinder Singh was allegedly run over by a dump truck after he tried to stop after receiving a tip-off about illegal mining in her district. Now, this is the latest information. According to ANI, one person accused in the killing of the DSP has been arrested after an encounter in which he was shot in the leg. And this is according to the Directorate General of Police PK Agarwal. Now, PTI has reported that the arrested accused is a driver of the truck that ran down Mr. Singh. Now, teams are conducting raids to arrest the other accused. The Congress, in the meantime, has demanded an independent judicial probe in the matter. Updates coming in from the Parliament. The opposition leaders protested against the recent surge in prices of essential commodities, and both the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha were adjourned till tomorrow. Speaker Om Birla said, and I quote, "As per rules, it is not allowed to bring placards inside the house," end quote. Now, an advisory issued by the Lok Sabha earlier had prohibited placards in the house. Congress leader Manikam Tagore has said, and I quote, "Today, the opposition led by the Congress will demand discussion on urgent issue of continuing intolerable increase in prices of essential commodities. Hope Parliament works and discusses people's issues," end quote. Now, Union Minister of Home Affairs Nityanand Rai informed in a written reply in Lok Sabha that the NCRB does not maintain any specific data regarding the arrest of journalists. His remarks came after TMC MP Mala Roy had asked about the total number of journalists that have been arrested in the country since 2019, along with the charges against them. Now, to this, Rai said, and I quote, "Police and public order are state subjects under the 7th schedule to the Constitution of India, and state governments are responsible for the prevention, detection and investigation of crimes and for prosecuting the criminals through their law enforcement agencies," end quote. The MHA also informed Lok Sabha that over 1.63 lakh Indians have given up their Indian citizenship in 2021. In 2020, 85,256 Indians renounced their citizenship, and in 2019, 1.44 lakh people have given up their citizenship. An update on the NandpurSharma case right now. The Supreme Court granted interim protection from arrest to suspended BJP spokesperson NandpurSharma in cases filed against her in connection with her remarks on Prophet Muhammad. Now, the court also issued notices to the sentenced states where cases against NandpurSharma have been lodged in response to her petition. Ms. Sharma has demanded that either the FIRs filed against her in different states should be quashed or they be clubbed together and transferred to Delhi. In other news, the Director General of Civil Aviation has said that an insufficient number of engineers has been certifying aircraft of various carriers before takeoff. Now, this comes after at least 11 planes had to make emergency landings because of technical issues since June. A lot of them have been SpiceJet flights. On Sunday, an Indigo flight made an emergency landing in Pakistan's Karachi airport after the pilot observed a technical glitch. Now, the airlines have been asked to tend to all of the flaws and shortcomings by the 28th of July. On to business news right now. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has released a list of items that will not attract any GST when sold loose and not pre-packed or pre-labeled. Now, this comes after the opposition have been protesting against GST hikes as well in the parliament. Now, Nirmala Sitharaman said that certain items including pulses of dal, wheat, oats, maize, rice, atta, suji, besan, puffed rice, curd or lassi when sold loose and non-pre-packed or pre-labeled will not attract any GST. She also defended the 5% GST on food articles such as cereals, rice, flour and curd, which are pre-packaged, and said that it was an unanimous decision of the GST Council last month in which even non-BJP ruled states were present. On to environment news right now. Britain has recorded its highest ever temperature of 39.1 degrees Celsius today. The heat wave in Britain has already affected airport runways and rail tracks as well. Britain has been put on a state of national emergency over the unprecedented temperatures. An update on what's going on in Sri Lanka right now. Sri Lanka's parliament has nominated 3 candidates for presidential polls, which will be held on Wednesday, which is the 20th of July. Acting President Ranil Wickremesinghe, former Education Minister Anura Kumara Dissanayake, and former Information and Mass Media Minister Dulas Alahapremura has been nominated for the same. Now, Gotabaya Rajapaksa fled the country and resigned from his post on the 14th of July. The country is going through its worst ever economic crisis. Sri Lankan opposition leader Sajid Premadasa had earlier announced that he has dropped out of the race for the polls. Also in Afghanistan, according to a report by The Guardian, the Taliban have now asked women working at Afghanistan's finance ministry to send a male relative to do the job. Now, women who worked in government positions were sent home And shortly after the Taliban took power in August 2021, a lot of them were fired. Taliban had also prohibited women from pursuing sports and pursuing secondary education. Our piece of good news for the day comes in from India. India has crossed a milestone of administering 2 billion, which is 200 crore cumulative COVID vaccinations as of Sunday. The country had crossed the milestone of 1 billion doses in October 21st last year, just 9 months after the vaccination drive started. Now, till now, 90% of the adult population is fully vaccinated and 97% have received their first dose. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching.